Have you heard? Two incredible media brands, Feisty Media and Another Mother Runner, have merged. And our first athletic step together is the Grand Traverse, an epic trail adventure, October 3rd, 2026, in beautiful Duluth, Minnesota. In this Choose Your Own Adventure format event, you pick your distance, from 10 miles to 27 miles, and whether you want to hike or run it. Whatever you choose, you'll be supported from your first step to the finish line by an incredible community of goal-oriented women led by Another Mother Runner's Dimity McDowell and Feisty Media's Celine Yeager. Join us today to get a comprehensive training program and virtual group coaching, plus group activities and support in Duluth. Head to feisty.co/events and look for the Grand Traverse to grab your spot today. That's feisty.co/events and use the code FEISTY20 to get $20 off when you register.
All right, Feisties, welcome back. This is Kelly O'Mara. I am here with Joanne Murphy and Katie Zaferes this week, and we have Grace Alexander fresh off her back-to-back 70.3 wins, which, Grace, we want to hear all about, all the details, dirty details. But first, I told you I was going to ask you, what do you think is the most exciting race so far this year?
Probably, so I raced Oceanside, so it was exciting for me, but I also think just the women's and men's race in general there was awesome. I think it's really inspiring to see how fast they can run, like Christian and Solveig. So that was really inspiring. I actually watched it back. So
You watched it after? Oh, wow. I feel like usually people do not watch the races that they were in. We are actually having this debate last week, weren't we, Katie?
Yeah. I feel like I don't think I watched the races I wasn't in or or that I was in.
Well, I didn't make any appearances in Oceanside, so I had to watch from what the front did.
Do you like Oceanside? I feel like we've had a lot of guests mention Oceanside and everyone's always split. Do you enjoy that race?
Yeah, I mean, they made the swim permanently like in the harbor, I guess, so you're not at risk of having to deal with all the currents and waves of the ocean. And then the bike, it's kind of sketchy in spots, but in general, it's scenic, pretty well, like cool course. And then the run is flat generally and fast, so you can't really go wrong with that. And plus, Oceanside is just beautiful, that part of California, so you can't go wrong.
I have noticed that the next year's registration is TBD, and there are some rumors flying around, which I'm not gonna speculate about rumors.
Come on.
This is like the intro to it. Ready? Go.
Ready?
Tell us.
I won't. I think it's just been, kind of up in the air. So,
like they might cancel it?
No. Like people have been talking about whether or not Worlds will be there, and so.
I'm hoping for Chattanooga.
Everyone's got their own little pick, right?
Yeah, true.
Do you have a favorite? What's your favorite race that you've ever done? Let's say specifically the course.
That's tough, but I'm gonna go with New Zealand.
Yeah,
for Worlds. Just, I mean, swimming in water that you don't have to worry about anything is a huge plus.
But hang on,
like anything being cleanliness or animals?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on, you come from a swimming background. Surely be to God you're not worried about anything in the water.
I wasn't avoiding sharks in college swimming.
There's no sharks in Topau Lake.
Well, exactly. That's why I liked it.
Perfect. And Joanne, you're back too, right?
I'm back for, I think,
wherever you were.
I think I'm back for like 9 days and then I go again. So I was in Austria at the Mozart 100 by UTMB, phenomenal ultra trail race in the heart of Austria, just outside Salzburg. It was stunning in a place called Fugel am See. So my Austrian and my German is sehr gut now. Yeah.
Did you practice saying the name of that town all week?
No, it came very easy. My college, no, my school German came back sehr gut, ja, wunderbar. But actually, Kelly, before we move, like you did a trail race at the weekend as well, I believe. So tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
I believe there was a bit of a blow up.
Oh, yeah. So you guys, the Dipsy is coming up, and the Dipsy is the oldest trail race in the country, second oldest race after Boston Marathon. It is a big deal here, and it's in 3 weeks. So I've been doing some tune-up races to remember how to run hard.
Is that hashtag cramming?
Yeah, it's cramming. Race, what is that? Race cramming? Yeah. And this weekend, so I did this local trail race, and I ran so hard that I set a 20-minute, like all-time max heart rate PR, according to all of my devices. And I did not set any
All of my
speed or
devices.
pace. Yes, all my devices were like, you are going to die. But you ran very slow. But then your heart rate's going up, but you're going slower and slower, you know?
Well,
So
maybe it was hot.
No, it
Maybe
was
it was hot.
no.
It was, yeah, you're in the perfect place. So yeah, I guess
Perfect.
you can't use that as an
No.
excuse.
But you know when I kept being like, I think I'm still running hard, but I'm not running fast. That's weird.
So what did you do? Did you slow down?
No, well, yeah, that's what happens, right? When you go really hard at the beginning and then you're still running the same effort, but you're going slower and slower. And then like a small child passed me with, the last turn, like 2 miles. And I was like, oh no. Oh no.
So
Well,
how
you
did
did it.
Wow.
how did your pride recover from all of that?
I convinced myself the child was in another race. I was like, oh, they're probably running the 5K. It's fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I bet you they were on the podium.
Oh yeah, they were, yeah. So anyway, it's been race cramming. See, I told myself this is good race cramming,
Yeah.
Joanne. It's gonna be
So
great.
I have my
Yeah.
first triathlon of the season on the 14th of June, and I haven't swam since January. So I did a 1 hour 40 bike ride today, and I refueled with a 99 ice cream because we're having a heat wave here in Ireland, an actual heat wave, not just 10 minutes of hot sun. We've had nearly 3 days now of maybe 4 days of high heat. It was 30 something degrees today, like 30, anything over 30. It's insane.
Celsius.
Yes, 30 Celsius. It's roasting. Nobody can work. Everyone's at the beach. Everyone's dropping like flies
man.
with the heat and just like, can't work. It's too hot. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Well, if you're looking for something to do before we take a quick break, I am going to promote for a second our big Feisty Fest, September 18th to 20th. It's a fest. It's not a race. It's not a conference. It's a festival. You can ride. You can run. You can do pickleball. There'll be educational sessions. You can try out velodrome cycling on track cycle. Ooh, yeah, I know. So there's going to be all kinds of stuff. It's in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania, and you can find out more at feisty.co. And we're going to take a quick break before we come back to talk all about triathlon.
Meet your new Race Day Advantage, Orca's Athlex Aero Tri-Suit. This isn't your everyday tri-suit. It's built for speed where it matters most. With aerodynamic fabric strategically placed across the shoulders, arms, and back, it's designed to be aerodynamic on the bike while still giving you full freedom of movement in the water. And when the race heats up, Orca's Vapor Cool technology kicks in, actively helping your body regulate temperature by accelerating sweat evaporation. You also get a lightweight, quick-drying Tri-Tech chamois for comfort on the bike without feeling bulky on the run, and 2 back pockets to stash your nutrition for those longer efforts. The fit is compressive, race-ready, and built for performance. Plus, it comes in a very feisty blue color, which we love. Whether you're chasing a PR or just want to feel fast, the Athlex Aero Tri-Suit is designed to help you perform at your best across swim, bike, and run. Check it out now at the link in our show notes and use the code FeistyTry15 for 15% off all Orca products. That's FeistyTry15 for 15% off, and use the link in our show notes.
Let's face it, as much as most of us love being outdoors, sometimes the outdoors doesn't love us. Like when it's 10 degrees below or pouring rain, or sometimes you've got a workout on tap that's just hard to do outdoors. Well, great news. We have partnered with Wahoo to offer you a special deal on the Wahoo Kicker Run, a revolutionary rethink of the traditional treadmill that will convert even the most diehard treadmill haters. I know because I was one. The Kicker Run is engineered to bring outdoor running straight into your home. With a push of a button, you can set up this machine to match your pace automatically, so you can just run, and it automatically adjusts with you instead of the other way around. By far, my favorite feature. It also has terrain simulation, so the deck feels like I'm on hard-packed trails with just enough give but no bounce. There's even a lateral tilt feature which mimics real-world terrain, varying the side-to-side angle to keep your muscles ready for outdoor running. Finally, the Kicker Run has unmatched connectivity. It seamlessly connects to the Wahoo ecosystem and third-party apps, so you can simulate routes from Strava or Zwift. Whether you're a triathlete, a devoted runner, or someone who just loves to stay fit, the Kicker Run is there for you, and honestly, it's just a beautiful machine. We love it, we know you will too, so check this thing out. Click the link in the show notes and use the code Feisty2026, all caps Feisty2026, to get a free Headwind Smart Fan valued at $300 with the purchase of a Wahoo Kicker Run today. I will drop a link in the show notes to make it a snap.
All right, since we're all convinced it's very, very hot where we are, I will say T100 Spain looked very hot this weekend. People were just dropping. Did you guys watch it? It was the middle of the night here, but.
So I watched through like a little bit of the bike and then saw the results and I was like, whoa, there was a lot that changed here. Like it was one of those races where I was like, oh my gosh. Like because Spivey at the time was like a couple minutes back on the bike and then ran to
I
the
think she
podium.
had, it was the second or third fastest run, but I think she did really well on like a hilly hot run. She was just running through people and ran up into the third. I did notice though that last week Jess Learmonth on the podcast said Georgia was going to win.
Yeah, wasn't that Georgia's first T100 win?
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah. But she just seems to have like found like such a like joy back into like racing and competing in triathlon as well. Like even in World Triathlon from like San Marcan to this one, it's like it's cool to just because I felt like, and I mean I think she's spoken about being a bit disengaged after like the last cycle and just doing whatever Olympic cycle, and so it's kind of fun to see her coming back just firing on all cylinders with a lot of new environment, new group.
Oh, she changed
that
groups.
she's training with. Yeah, new coach. So yeah.
I saw, because it was so hot and people were imploding and lots of ice and lots of blowing up, which I felt. I did also see online, some people making fun / complaining that the finishes in the T100, everyone's always like passing out and collapsing and it's so dramatic and they're being overly dramatic. And I want to know, do you guys think they're being overly dramatic or do you think Katie's making it Grace?
Definitely not. Not in those conditions. Even if you're not going all out, you feel like you're going all out. So if they have, and I think T100 has like those ice buckets at the end of the races. So I'm sure you just kind of like eyes set on that and collapse into it.
They're also racing races in hot destinations, aren't they? And
in like the middle of the day.
People are racing T100 races like it's a sprint race. They're not racing it like it's an Ironman. They are going from the gun to the finish line.
Yeah, like it's like a hard, fast, hot race. I don't know. What do you expect people to come across the finish line as?
So yeah, there was some questioning on some forums about whether this was, a lot of theatrics or if this was real. Seems to be more in T100. And I think the other thing though is that T100 social media team really plays those up on Instagram. You always see the clips of the people passing out. Yeah. They had like cameras in Georgia's face as she was rolling around on the ground. Yeah.
Well, I think that's like probably the part of it is it's if they have more images, they're not going to pick the one of someone just walking across the finish line going to, I don't know, talk to the next athlete who finished. Like they're going to pick the one that's the most drama or clickbait, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'd be a funny thing for them to say, like, "Oh, make sure you finish really dramatically before at the
that's
end."
like in the contract.
That's like in the contract. I don't know.
It seemed good though. I will say, like Jess said last week's podcast, Georgia and Julie seemed kind of in another level, and then there was sort of everybody else. It sounds like, and I didn't do the math, that because Kate Woff didn't start, it'll be hard for her to defend her title. Math-wise, she has to pretty much win now.
I don't know. That almost makes it more interesting.
Yeah, true.
Like when someone skips and then it like has like more.
And then that just brings all the drama.
All the drama.
All the drama. Yeah, I don't know.
I was looking at the start list because San Francisco with a men's race, which we don't care about the men, but they're here next week, and obviously I'm right here.
So you don't care about them, but you're going to go watch them.
Yeah, I'm going to to watch them.
Because you're a fan of the sport.
It's like 6 a.m. because I'm a fan, but there's been guys pulling out, and this is why I've been like, who's starting?
Before we move on though.
Yeah.
I think Holly Lawrence racing and finishing 4th, coming back, like her first race back, is also a notable.
She's also, that's the other start list I was looking at, Ironman Hamburg. She's over there now for a Europe trip, and she's on the Ironman Hamburg start list, which has Laura and Solveig and Kat. I think Kat, maybe I'm wrong about Kat. Maybe Kat's actually doing Roth. We'll have to double check me. But it has a whole bunch of people, and everyone's saying, is this going to be when we finally see a sub 8? Ironman. Ooh.
What was it last year? Because it was like
802, 803, yeah, something.
But it's also the 20-meter draft. I wonder if that.
Oh, good point. That will be like super interesting to compare to. I didn't think about that. Like,
Oh yeah. So, Grace, in your races so far, has the 20-meter draft made a difference?
Physically, no. Mentally, yes. I thought that it would be a lot harder on both ends because I'm a strong swimmer and my bike is good, but it's not like great. So I felt like I did kind of benefit from the 12-meter rule. But so far this year, I might have just gotten to be a stronger cyclist. I don't know. But I've been mostly solo by myself. And so mentally, it's just kind of boring. So that's where I don't really like it. Yeah.
Maybe and you lean in mostly to power for that? Like during a race? Do you lean mostly into power during a race?
Yeah, which is nice because you can kind of just ride your own race then. But yeah, that's what I'm focusing on.
Maybe it's harder for people to catch up to you now. That's why you're by yourself.
That's true. It could
changes the dynamics of the race, really, doesn't it? Yeah. I've just checked there, Kelly, and I can tell you that Kat Matthews is not on the start line, I believe, for Hamburg, but Solveig, Lucy, Laura, Lisa Pertera, Holly Lawrence, and Lotte Wilm, and Marjolaine Pierre are all on that start list.
I believe Lucy just had it as a backup for Lanzarote, which we can talk about in a second. So I don't think she's going to start, but I think I was mixing Kat up from last year. It is a big start list. Will we see a sub 8? Now, Lucy, I don't think is starting Hamburg. I think she had it as a backup. She did Ironman Lanzarote this past weekend. And Joanne, you said that she looked very good, very strong, very back.
She was very, very strong coming back. Was it how many weeks post surgery? She's not that long gone past her.
I think it was 16
Yeah, it's
weeks.
very, I mean, that's not a long time to come back. And she was flying. She looked so comfortable. I think it was a decisive win over Nina Duran, actually, in second place in the end. But I think some of the athletes suffered with some blistering on their feet. I think I saw something on Lucy's socials, and Steph Clutterbuck had to DNF as well due to blisters on their feet. So I don't know how they managed the heat over there. I believe it was wild.
And they were saying the blisters were from, the transition area, just like
it was so hot.
Yeah. But
somebody shared a carousel of like a really bad, like carousel pictures on Instagram of a really bad blister on their foot. And the problem with the algorithm these days is that is not always the first picture that shows up. It's just random. So they had put the first picture being like, if you don't want to see this, don't click through. But then it was the random third picture that showed up. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
You're seeing it.
Yeah, and I know you don't care about the boys, Kelly, but Sam Laidlaw put down a superb performance as well ahead of going to Challenge Roth in July. Like, he was on fire. Yeah, it was super. And it's such a tough race. Have any of you been to Lanzarote? Yeah.
I've been to Fuerteventura.
Similar.
Which I think is similar vibes.
It's toasty and wild and windy and just hot, like hot on race day. So, well, in general anyway, but so.
Exposed, right? Like, because there's like probably no
it's kind of like Kona in a way. It's different kind of vibe, still got the island vibe, but it's a very tough, harsh environment. And then the climbs are hard. Like, the climbs on the bike are incredibly difficult.
Do you think that's why... Well, I was going to say, do you think that's why it gets big names, even though it was like a $4,000 prize?
I think maybe some of the boys had to qualify for Kona. There was,
and also it's accessible. Like, it's pretty connected to Europe and easy.
And it's got a real family feel to it as well. I think in terms of the race itself, you know, it's easy, as you say, it's easy for the athletes, but it's also a holiday destination for a lot of Europeans. So you can build your holiday around it, build your family holiday around it. For athletes like Lucy, she's out in Club La Santa for, you know, a lot of her training. Annie Haug used to be out there a lot as well. So I suppose it has a lot of the facilities that if you want to hurt yourself in training so it doesn't hurt so much in racing, then Lanzarote is a good place
Well,
to go to.
And to your point, like I think a lot of them are sponsored by like different of the hotels and accommodations
possibly,
there.
yeah.
So that probably is a
Yeah.
draw
Yes.
as well.
Oh man, being sponsored by a resort would be nice. Have you guys ever been
Oh, it'd
sponsored
be
by a
so
resort?
nice.
Yeah.
I've had a car sponsor,
No,
but
one
never
of
a
our
hotel
teammates
sponsor.
was.
What was that, Katie?
Yeah. One of Mario Molo is sponsored by Viva Blue in Mallorca, and so we would do a lot of training there. But it's just cool they have like sport resorts. We don't have that in the US, and I want a sport resort. Anybody on the podcast or listening, like I don't know how that happens, but let's do it.
Okay. Good. I'm looking
Was
for like
that a
my
good nod
next
for it?
my next venture. Maybe I'll just start one of these. It'll be great.
Can you do it on like the east coast of America so it's easy for me to get to?
Sure.
Yeah, Cary, North Carolina.
Perfect.
I would be down with that. That's not too far.
There we
From
go.
Greenville.
We can try with
were
Grace.
going
We've
to
another one of
do.
our coaches lined up. There we go. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were going to
no,
do one?
They were going to do one actually, and I think it was in North Carolina. They had this whole like mock-up of like man-made lake to do open water, like a crit course around and a hotel, and it
Dang.
didn't go through, but it was a great idea.
Next
Perfect.
time.
Yeah.
Grace, I feel like you're very east, like you win all the races on the East Coast, right? You're like East Coast dominant.
The southeast, maybe.
Southeast,
A
okay.
little bubble in the southeast.
So yeah, let's talk about 2 weeks ago now. I guess when this comes out, it will have been, but you won Gulf Coast 70.3 in Florida. And then the following weekend, you won Chattanooga 70.3, which is a pretty big back-to-back double. You've done doubles like a lot, but winning both of them is a big deal. And I feel like you won them in different ways. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can tell me this. But Gulf Coast, the swim was shortened.
Yeah.
And then in Chattanooga, I feel like you actually won it on the swim. You led from the start. So
Yeah, that's a good point. The swim being shortened in Gulf Coast definitely didn't play to my strength, but I've been surprising myself on the bike. So I think that's where I kind of set myself up for that one. And then, yeah, in Chattanooga, the swim, my goal, because usually that's a downstream swim, and it was still technically downstream, but there was no current. So they were expecting our swim times to be a lot slower because they also extend it from 1.2 miles to 1.4 miles. So with it being like a slower swim, I was like, I'm just going to hammer it and see what happens. And it worked. So I'm going to do that again.
This seems like a great strategy.
Yeah.
were you nervous going into that second one, knowing that you had, the previous weekend in your legs and that you're like, I'm just going to hammer it and hope, Paula and Jackie don't catch me?
I was the least nervous for Chattanooga. I think because I had raced so recently and won, it was like the pressure is off. I already have had a good race recently. So it was more of just see what the body can do on the second race. And with it being so early in the season, usually I do doubles in the fall when the fitness has built up a little bit more. So I was a little unsure how the body would respond. And to be honest, I didn't feel fantastic on the bike for Chattanooga. But since I was by myself and in the lead, you kind of just push yourself to T2. And yeah.
What is the draw of doing back-to-backs, doing doubles? Why do you choose to do that?
Well, usually they're just located close to each other. So it's really just a logistically easy thing to do and financially easy. And for me specifically, Gulf Coast, I could drive there from South Carolina, from my house. It's about a 5-hour drive. And then on the way to Chattanooga is Atlanta, which is where all my family is. So I just stayed with them for the week. And then Chattanooga is an hour and a half from Atlanta. So it was just very simple to do.
How do you pick your race? I mean, I know how you just described there, but like, do you work with a coach or do you coach yourself?
Yeah, I work with Matthew Rose out of Atlanta.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And do you kind of work together to choose your races that you do, or how does that work?
He really leaves it up to me more so, but if I have questions like on should I do back to back? Do you think it's too early in the season? Am I doing it too often? Like I'll get his feedback, but in general, I just race races that I want to do. And usually that is those are races that are, again, logistically easy, financially makes sense. Like I usually travel to races completely on my own. So I don't want to go spend a week and a half somewhere by myself. I go a little mentally crazy. So I try to get to races like 2 days before and then leave the next day. So it's just like a quick little work trip.
Huh. Did you well, we were debating this a week or two ago about like the back-to-backs, like if it's tougher a week apart or 2 weeks apart or 3 weeks apart. What did you do in that week? Did you just recover and then get going again?
Yeah, a lot of swimming and biking. I think I ran a total of 5 miles in between the two races, and they were both like just short runs off the bike. So mostly swimming coming off of the first race, and then entered in some bricks and also swims. Didn't do any like strength training or anything, but yeah, training was very light. And then I usually do well doing like a sharpening bike session 2 days out from a race. So we did that, and I felt like my legs felt pretty good. So that gave me some confidence. And then the day before race, I do a very short brick that also has a few pickups, and they felt good again. So I was like, I'm just going to hope for the best.
Which one did you feel better on? The first or the second?
The first for the bike, at least. The second on the swim and the run.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There were other people that did the double too, though, right? And even if you're traveling by yourself to races, do you guys like? Do you hook up? Do you make friends?
I try to make friends.
That's good.
Yeah, a lot of the guys did the double, and then I think it was just me and my friend Carrie who did the double, and she's in Florida, so also kind of logistically easy for her to get to both. But yeah, I think it was just us.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was more of the guys, because I feel like I saw a bunch of them doing both of them. But
yeah.
Do you feel, I mean, there was a lot of talk of this is a big breakthrough. Do you feel like this has been a breakthrough season, or are you like, guys, I was here already? Come on.
I think I've just been like slowly chipping along, because last year I would say was more of like a breakthrough, but it wasn't anything like dramatic. And I still feel like this is also another level up maybe, but nothing dramatic. So I think it's appropriate for my training and how long I've been in the sport. I'm just gradually progressing, and hopefully it'll just keep continuing that way.
I think we should hear more about Grace getting started coming out of swimming, but we are going to take a quick break before we dive into her whole background.
Pillar is a performance health brand developed by leading sports scientists, dietitians, and athletes. Pillar is focused on getting you to the start line in the best condition possible. My nighttime routine and sleep really became a crucial part of my life as an elite athlete in order to consistently perform in my training and racing. Even now, when my priorities have shifted, I know that a good night's sleep is key to me being at my best, whether it be training, coaching, or keeping up with my family. Pillar's triple magnesium, informed by leading heart rate variability researcher Dr. Dan Plews, has been integral to my end-of-day routine. I take it 30 minutes before bed each night to guarantee that my body spends as much time in REM and deep sleep as possible. Pillar uses a high dose of glycinate magnesium, activating the parasympathetic nervous system and ensuring that I fall asleep and stay in the restorative sleep phases for longer. This is especially important to me because I still have a 9-month-old who still doesn't sleep through the night. So I feel much more confident in being able to fall asleep faster and optimize the time that I have asleep, and so that I feel better rested and recovered the next day with triple magnesium as part of my routine. So check it out. If you want to give it a try, visit pillarperformance.shop, or for North American customers, head to thefeed.com and use the code Feisty, capital Feisty, for 15% off your first purchase.
Have your next grand adventure at the Grand Traverse. It's a day of trail running or hiking, you pick your pace, with like-minded women powered by group coaching that allows you to bond and move all summer long. This Feisty Media, Another Mother Runner merger event is happening Saturday, October 3rd in Duluth, Minnesota, and you need to be part of it. The Grand Traverse is ideal if you're looking for a goal that lights you up, a structured 16 or 20-week training program to keep you moving and motivated all summer, and a community that truly feels like your people. You opt for the distance you want to cover, from 10 to 27 miles, and the method you want to cover it, hiking or trail running. During the event weekend, you get to hang with the women you've virtually trained with, plus another Mother Runner co-founder, Dimity McDowell, and Celine Yeager of the Hit Play Not Pause podcast. Dimity's hiking 10 miles, and Celine plans to run 21. The scenery is stunning. The October 3rd event is at the height of leaf peeping season, and Lake Superior definitely lives up to its name. And the camaraderie and conversation from the group members will keep you going strong too. The Grand Traverse is truly grand. Head to feisty.co/events and look for the Grand Traverse to secure your spot today. That's feisty.co/events and use the code Feisty20 to get $20 off when you register. The link will, of course, be in the show notes.
All right, Grace, we kind of mentioned you swam collegiately. You're obviously a swimmer. And I know you did a little like running and well, you ran in high school, but I know you did a little triathlon when you were a kid. What made you do triathlon competitively coming out of swimming? Were you one of those burned out swimmers who was looking for something else, or had you had your eye on triathlon for a while?
So I never swam like club or like year-round swimming. So
Okay.
I was one of the few people that went to college swimming and like loved it still and wasn't burned out. So in college, I kept improving in the swim, which is obviously very motivating and exciting. But also simultaneously, while I was swimming in college, I was also having a very good time, and that was another focus of mine. So when I graduated college, that was the first time in my life that I didn't have like a set structured schedule. I wasn't on like a sporting team, but I continued to have a good time for about a year and a half, and it was not looking good for me in the mirror or like in what I was doing. So I was like, I need to get back into something. So I started doing Orangetheory actually, because I was like, I can't do this by myself. I need someone yelling at me. And I was also very frugal at the time, and it's very expensive. So I was like, if I go every day for a month, it's only like $6 a class.
Yeah.
And I knew that would hold me accountable. So I did that for about 2 or 3 months till I felt like I could continue exercising on my own. And I started running, did like a half marathon. My goal was to break 2 hours. And I told myself if I broke 2 hours, I would do a Olympic distance triathlon. And I did 1 hour and 59 minutes. So I did an Olympic distance triathlon the next spring, and then did really well at that. And in the back of my mind, I was like, since I'd won it, I won it. So I was like, maybe I could do this professionally.
Sorry, did you just say you did your very first triathlon and won it? Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was like a small little local race. But yeah, it was definitely motivating. And that was, I think, 2016. Okay. So then from then on out, it's all been eyes on triathlon.
That's a pretty big, to go from a 1:59 half marathon to like a 1:23 or whatever now is quite an improvement.
Yeah, it's a big jump. Lifestyle factors really help with that.
What was like, I mean, I feel like that's a hard pivot when you're like doing life in a different way. And I know you said you started Orangetheory, but like, was there any like moment you decided, oh, okay, that's enough? Or like, how did you kind of make that jump?
I think there was kind of a moment where I remember I was sitting at dinner with my parents and my brother and his now wife, where like I was always hanging out with my brother and we would go to the bars and do all that stuff. And then he started dating this girl and spending more time with her. So I was like left on my own, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And so at this dinner, I was like panicking because we were at dinner with her, and I was like, I need to do something else. And that's when it was kind of like a little shift.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I like that you did your first triathlon and you're like, I'm going to like go pro in this. Like, what is that? Yeah. Like,
that's quite a lot of confidence is what she's saying.
Yeah, that's good confidence, but also good that you even knew that triathlon was a professional pathway.
Well, I kind of like put blinders on, and I told myself that it was a professional pathway versus like really looking into how hard it actually is to make it as a pro. And I was kind of like a ignorance is bliss for the first 4 years of my triathlon journey, because I wanted to do like Olympic route, but it's like, you know, I refused to look at their 10K times because I was like 10 minutes slower. So it was it was ignoring how much of a gap there was between where I am and where I want to be, and just like enjoying working towards that, even if I'm extremely far away from where I want to be.
Yeah, I definitely felt that when I first started triathlon. I had no idea like what I was doing, but I was like, I can be good at like
I can be good at this.
I can be good at this, but
Yeah.
no idea what that like top end really
So
was.
was there an actual moment then, Grace, when you realized that actually I can be good at this and I can become a pro? Like, what was the turning point to turn pro?
So I qualified for my pro card in 2018 at St. Anthony's Triathlon. But I looked at my time that day versus the pros that day, and I was still way off. And knowing myself, like, I don't want to be back of the pack. That's just not what brings me joy in racing. So I was like, I'm going to develop a little bit more before I take it, and just see if I can get closer to like the mid to top pack. And then in 2020, Gulf Coast 70.3 in November, I won that race overall. And I was like, all right, I think I'm going to
So you need to clarify that you won that race and were the fastest athlete across men and women. So just in case anybody doesn't realize that you won that race outright, fastest across the line. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I've figured that was the moment that was solidified me going pro.
And so what had changed in that period of time between, say, 2018, when you technically qualified for a pro card, and then 2020? Like, what had changed in terms of your, I suppose, your training, your racing, your mindset? What was the difference?
Well, I got my first triathlon coach in 2019. So that consistency, especially on the bike, probably is what helped the most, because I was swimming on my own and I had been working with a run coach, and that had helped a lot too. But I think having someone put together the program for Swim Bike Run and being consistent throughout 2019 and throughout COVID helped me with that resultant decision.
Oh yeah, that is right. So you were training kind of by yourself, you weren't really racing.
Yeah, I remember getting a text from someone in like April of 2020, and I was on Strava doing all these workouts. They're like, why are you training? There's no races. And I just, like, in my mind, I wanted to say back, like, you'll see.
What was it like actually winning the race outright? I know it's quite a few years ago now.
It was very underwhelming, because like there was no one at the finish line.
Oh gosh.
And I'm a big, like, I do a lot of mental imagery. So like leading up to the race, I remember like my drives to class and stuff, I would be like visualizing the race and finishing the race. And I had even visualized myself crossing the finish line in first, and like I was literally crying in the car with like these emotions. And then when it happened on race day, I crossed the finish line. I was like, okay. Like, yeah.
When did you start visualizing? Is that something from swimming, or is that something you picked up afterwards?
I think it probably did start in swimming, because I sync it with music a lot. So I remember in college swimming, listening to music that really like motivates me, and then using visualization too. And
when you visualize a 70.3, how long does it take you? Like what? Because I always, background of this question is that I'm always telling our athletes it's different than swimming, because you can't just visualize like your time that you're going to hit the wall in like the shortness of the races, but then in like a Olympic distance race, you're not going to sit there and visualize 2 hours. So I'm like, interested in how long.
I guess I'm more so like chunk visualization. So it's like, especially if it's a course that I've done before, I remember certain sections of it, especially if they're challenging, and visualize myself like getting through it and feeling good, or like the finish line or the start of the swim, things that usually challenge me the most, but overcoming it. That's what I like to visualize.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I want to come back to the music song, just the music piece, just before Kelly jumps in, because music is such a huge part of my job. So when you cross the finish line, what would you like your winning finish line song to be?
Oh no, it changes. I think I heard recently that a lot of people like to listen to music that brings them back to their like junior high or high school
Right.
days. Like that time frame for people's lives just is like it's stuck in that phase of music, and that is definitely the case for me. I'm from Atlanta, so I listen to like a lot of rap. But I would change. I mean,
If you picked a song, Joanne would make sure it was playing if she's ever the announcer. So
with a DJ, obviously.
yeah, you put it right.
We're gonna challenge you, Grace. The next time you see me on a finish line, I want to get your finish line song.
Okay. Deal. I'll think of it and send it to you.
What I was about to say was, even if the finish line was underwhelming, because
people COVID,
whatever time, like people starting at different times, not as many crowds, it still ended up being a really big deal because you were the first woman to ever win an age group 70.3 outright. And I feel, if you Google your name right now, it comes up everywhere, right? I feel like there was a lot of attention. I mean, you were on the Iron Women podcast before. Did it get a lot of attention? Did you feel like suddenly people were paying attention?
A lot of things happened that day, since it was also one of the first races back from COVID. I think like Sky Munch had like a phenomenal run, like one of the first women to break 250 or 3 hours in the marathon of the Ironman. So, and then Chris Nikic completed the Ironman that day. So there was just a lot of awesome stuff going on. So I feel like it was like shared with that, but it wasn't a huge highlight.
Oh, because they did them at the same. Yes, I remember they did them at the same time. Then coming back from the pandemic. Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting. And with the rolling start, honestly, when I crossed the finish line, I didn't believe that I had won. I was like, we need to wait a few more minutes.
That was the word I was trying to come up with like 2 minutes ago, rolling start. I was like, because the people, they were not there with the rolling start.
Yeah.
Do you like rolling starts? I know Katie's never done one. I've only done one or two. Joanne,
I've done a few.
You've done a few. Do you like them?
I like them. I mean, I don't like getting hit in the water, so that kind of prevents that from happening as much.
Plus, you get to chase people down, right? Because can't you decide?
Well, you start at the back, yeah.
Well, yeah, but but
that's only for age groupers, though. It's only age groupers now. So the pros there's the pro women. Well, for Ironman, if there's a pro women race, the pro women will have a start after the pro men.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't let them pick and choose when they want to start. That would be crazy, Joanne.
Gosh,
crazy.
She's manifesting.
All right, so with that,
change now to the swim rules for Ironman.
Oh my god. But I could see why that would be like, okay, I can make it as a pro now. I can do this. So what did you change anything? What did you change when you decided to go pro? And what did you keep the same?
Well, so 2021, I went pro, and I think I only did 2 races that year just because races were still on their way back from COVID. Yeah. And I was still in grad school, so I wasn't a full-time pro. And then in 2022, I would say is where the changes happened. I got a new coach in 2022, and then I moved from Atlanta to Summerville, South Carolina, with my boyfriend at the time, and was more full-time pro then. But I still feel like I kind of just stayed the same in 23 and 24-ish. I kind of plateaued a little bit. And then 25, like the consistency started to just show itself.
But was that hard?
Plateauing?
Yeah. Yeah, like, for sure.
Were you like questioning?
I mean, I still I love the lifestyle, of course. So I was never like thinking of quitting, but I was wondering, like, do I need to make other changes? The downside about where I was, Somerville, is it's completely flat and it's tropical. So it's hard to train well there. And then in 2024, we moved in the middle of the year to Greenville, South Carolina, which is a much more we have hills, we have mountains really close by. It's not as tropical. So I think the training setup was a lot better. And then I also just started building my team around me, I think. And that is when it took off. Because I was actually thinking about switching coaches at the end of 2024, but my gut was like, I don't think this is a coaching problem. I think this is a me problem. Like, I need to do better at nutrition. I could do better strength. I could do better sleep. I could do in race nutrition better and training nutrition better. So that's when I feel like the results came, was when I took more accountability for my training and my outside of training life.
That's like really neat to be confident and like have the awareness of being confident with your coach and like the training that you're doing while also changing something and then starting to see results just based off of like those changes. And like when you say your team, is that with the people you're training with, or is that more like support of nutrition and I don't know, the
Yeah,
sports
like
physio?
a dietitian, a PT, sports psych, and I think that's it.
Do you
You're like,
train with
wait.
other people or more by yourself?
That's what I was gonna
I try
ask.
to I try to recruit people to do workouts with me. Yeah. My training partners come and go. I'm pretty stubborn with my training, so I'm not flexible, and they have to be willing to do exactly what I need
I
to
love how you
do.
said that in a straight
so-
face. I'm really stubborn with my training and I am not flexible. Like you literally said it with a straight face.
And I pretty much say it like that to the people. I'm like, if you want to train with me, great. I'll do it by myself though, if you don't want to. So
Does it make
You're
it?
like, this is what I'm doing. She's like, this is what I'm doing. This is when I'm leaving. You can meet me here at this time.
Oh yeah. When we do a ride, I say 8:00 wheels down. Like, we're not meeting at 8:00. I'm not a time waster.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
I heard Greenville like is really like incredible to train.
Yeah, especially the cycling, because George Hincapie lives here, which was Lance Armstrong's domestique back in those days. And so he really built up the cycling community. And just north of Greenville, like if you look on Strava heat maps, it's just lit up like with cycling. And then the running's good. We don't have a lot of soft surface, which is a bummer. I'm actually on a side quest right now working with Greenville County and City to try to make like a soft surface path alongside our Swamp Rabbit Trail. And I actually used the Tobacco Trail as an example in Cary. So that could be a little bit better. And then the swimming's, it's okay. I mean, we have 25-yard pools, and then we have an aquatic center that goes to 50 meters during the summer. So it's all right.
You're like, all right.
Yeah.
I was curious about the whole like what you changed, what you didn't, because so many people I feel like when they want to go pro, I'm saying that in quotes, they suddenly double or triple their training. And obviously there's been a ton of talk in the Ironman pro circles lately about the number of hours, right? We all have to do 45 hours a week or whatever. And that doesn't always work out when you go just do that jump that first year. So I'm curious, when you say, well, one, I want to know how much you're training. What do your days look like? And when you say you're full time now, again, there's also been a lot of talk lately among the pros about how they make it all work financially and all the different side jobs. You also coach, right?
Yep.
So what does that all look like for you?
Yeah, so my training and listening to other pros training, I'm definitely on the lower volume end. I think my coach is more of a quantity of quality over quantity purely. So
Sure.
volume, I'm usually around 20 to maybe 21. It's really 19 to 21 hours a week of training, and I include strength in that. But I've been with my coach for 5 years, and I love looking back on my training peaks to see how I've progressed and how the workouts have progressed. And the amount of intensity that I can handle now is pretty crazy compared to like 3-4 years ago. And I think, especially since I'm a 70.3 specialty athlete, yeah, it's really important to get that quality, because it's basically almost becoming like a threshold effort for the whole thing. But yeah, it's a lot. I'm usually doing 2 to 3 sessions a day, like 4 or 5 swims a week. I run 5 or 6 days a week, and then bike 5 or 6 days a week, I think. But a good amount of quality within that, and nothing crazy long. I don't do a lot of like super long runs or long rides. But then my day to day with coaching, it's all through Training Peaks, and it's all virtual. So that's pretty flexible on my end. I usually try to get it done just little bits throughout the week. But then Saturday is my only swim day. So I kind of go in and make last minute adjustments or get the last athletes up for their following week on Saturday. But I cap myself at 12 athletes because I just don't want to get overwhelmed. And I want to make sure that I can give them what they need and not just forget stuff.
Sure.
And do you work with a variety of athletes, or do you have a type? I don't know, in terms of who you coach.
I work with a variety for sure. I feel like I've been coaching for 5 years now. And I feel like at the beginning, you kind of just take whoever. You don't really know who you work best with or what you enjoy coaching, like distance wise. But now I've realized that it's more of like a personality for me. I want to work with athletes who are willing and able to stick to a plan or are willing to communicate when plans need to change, because otherwise it's kind of just like what are we doing? And like, we don't know what's helping you or hurting you because nothing's being followed. So it's more so just the athlete that wants to stick to a plan.
Do they need to be stubborn with their training?
That helps. Yeah. I bond with
Do you
those the
need to see
best.
the green on Training Peaks on a regular basis and no yellows and reds, and then they get ditched, 3 strikes and you're out?
Yeah, pretty much. And that is a thing because I limit how many athletes I take. After a while, I'm like, what are we doing? I'm not just doing this to take your money, So like, let's either figure this out or we need to go separate
And
ways.
does your activity as a coach influence how you race then?
What do you mean?
Like, if you're telling your athletes to do something, are you racing in the same way as you're telling them to do things?
Not always, because usually my athletes, I mean, they're racing a whole different style,
Sure.
like than the pros do. So it's usually me trying to remember my age group days or like remembering what current athletes that I'm coaching are doing and applying it.
What are the hot questions? I mean, I kind of know, but what are the questions and the things that your athletes want to know about or are messing up?
Yeah, volume. A lot of them want to do a lot of volume. A lot of them want to do volume as well as incorporating heat sessions, as well as like doing double thresholds. And it's like, we can't do all this at once. But that's why they hire me. So, yeah, it's all the stuff that's like clickbaity, I guess. And what the Norwegians are saying is like the thing that they're doing, but people are forgetting that they've been doing this for 20 years and they have this crazy aerobic base that has made them super durable and resilient. And if you're starting in your mid-20s, you can't do that.
And your degree is in health and exercise science as well.
Katie,
so
that's
like,
what I was going to say, Katie. See, we're so in sync.
we are so
I think you're texting each other in
We only
between
need
and
one
going,
of
I'm
us.
going to ask this question next.
But how, when you're coaching, like, how do you balance kind of prescribing training with that degree that is obviously like really science based, but also with your experience? Like, is the training based in your experiences with other coaches, or more like a bit different and what you know by like book?
Yeah, I think I take bits and pieces from everything, like all my coaches versus like what I was taught versus like what's changed since I've been taught. I think it's important to know the science, but I wouldn't call myself like a science or data coach, because I think it's just so important to go off of feel. And, it's definitely valuable to take lactate and do like in lab testing if you have access to that and you have a lifestyle that allows you to be consistent and kind of control that part of your training. But for most age groupers, like, they have kids, they have a job, and you can't control all of these aspects of your life that is going to give you consistent data almost. So it's really learning about how to go off of feel and trusting that your body can handle what you're asking of it, but being smart enough to pull back if it's asking you to pull back.
Is this
for sure.
Is this what you want to do? Not to say that you're going to retire anytime soon, because obviously you have many, many more years ahead. But this seems to be like what you're passionate about, right?
Yeah. Whenever I do retire, I'll hopefully build up the coaching business and make it a full-time thing. Yeah.
But you're not retiring yet, obviously. I was looking at your schedule. You don't have 70.3 Worlds on there, but I thought you qualified.
I'm debating it. This is one of those things where it's like racing races that I want to race. And the thing about traveling to Europe is you have to go a week before to like adjust to the time schedule. My husband works a full-time job, so he wouldn't be able to go with me that week before. I'm trying to recruit some friends maybe. But it's just the time and the financial aspect of it, and the fact that it only pays 15 deep, and I think I could get top 15, but is it guaranteed? No. So do I want to be $5,000 in the hole potentially? There's a lot of things that go into it besides just racing it because I qualified.
Is this why you do a lot of North American races?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I put my name on for T100 Vancouver, so I like to race more competitive races when they're in North America. Yeah.
What is your, because you did the US, I was going to say whatever T100 used to be called, the US Open, and you've done a T100 race. Do you like that more than the 70.3, or do you like and you used to want to do Olympic distance, right?
Yeah,
So
and I do St. Anthony's every year, which is the only non-draft legal. Yeah.
Left. Is it the only non-draft legal? Because I guess Chicago, Lifetime. Yeah.
They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I like the T100. It's a whole nother experience. They definitely treat you more like a pro. The racing experience is more professional. I like the distance more because it's a little shorter. But yeah, I would do more of them if they were in North America.
I'm thinking about that. I guess there's only San Francisco this year and Vancouver,
it's men's, right?
Yeah, and it's men's, yeah.
Yeah, so Vancouver is the women's.
All right, Joanne wants to know, and this is what we'll finish on. What is the hardest you've had to suffer in a race, and how did you get through it?
Oh, man.
Ooh.
That's tough. I was actually talking to my sports psychologist about this the other day, and how, like, I've cried in training before, like suffering, but I've never gotten to that point in racing. And I feel like it should be the other way around, you know? So yeah, I've never like cried in a race to the
That's
point.
probably good. You shouldn't cry in races. It hinders performance.
Well, I cry
Unless you're tears of joy at the finish line.
I would say I feel like that's different though. Because I feel the same. Like in training, I've definitely been far more emotional than like in a race. I've always felt like there's been times I've wanted to quit, but not cry till maybe after.
Yeah. I think you have to like shut it down. Because I will tell you, as someone who started crying in a race one time, you stop being able to breathe, and it all deteriorates like very quickly.
You're like hyperventilating, and I remember that has happened to me, but that was in like middle school, so that hasn't happened in a while. But then I ended up getting an inhaler in middle school because my dad was like, maybe it's allergies. But I would say I remember Chattanooga 2022 or 23 was not a very good race, and I remember having to dig pretty deep just to like get to the finish, because I mean, knock on wood, no DNF so far, so I would like to keep that streak alive.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was trying to have a sneezing attack before we finish. I feel Joanne might have to wrap us up here so that Katie can make her appointment while I start sneezing. So,
well, Feisties, thank you so much to Grace Alexander for joining us today, and we can't wait to release this episode. We hope that Kelly is back next week with no allergies, and a pleasure to have Katie Zafiris with us as well. Grace, good luck with the rest of the season. Can't wait to hear what that finish line song is going to be, and to call you across the finish line on one of the days.